Hello everyone and welcome back to Krastorio 2. This is Otaku Showboat. If you have been enjoying this series thus far, please be sure to do all of the social and engagement stuff below the video. You can of course follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. So, when we last left off, I want you to just have a look at how much time has passed up here. This is the total game time that I have spent in this save thus far. You can see I've spent like 3-ish hours. I think that's the amount of time that has passed since the last time. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing that we were in the 7-hour range-ish by the end of the last video. So, what have I done? As I go into the map view, what have I done? Well, as I said I would do, I was going and placing rails. Manually placing rails is not fun. Oh god, can we please just agree that manual rail placement is not ideal in the slightest? Placing the blueprints is easy enough, but placing down and actually building the thing, oh god, it's very time consuming, as you can very clearly see. It's very time consuming to place down train stations and the like, as well, and plan out what I'm doing with all the things. So here we've got our main rail line here, the primary rail line that everything else is going to sort of branch off of. May need like full on verticals occasionally, but yeah, we have a quote unquote main rail line here. I've set little indicators of what to mine and places to expand to. But I did realize that after I tapped all these things, that I've been placing radars all along the lines, that I needed to make sure that I found a source of immersite as well as a source of mineral water. And it took a bit of exploration. Yet you can probably tell it took a little bit of hunting to actually finally find sources of mineral water and immersite. That's actually a much bigger patch of mineral water than even this one is. So in the end, I have found 2 sources of immersite right here and all the way up here. These are listed as 1G, that is 1 billion units. That is the maximum amount that the game can possibly give to a single node resource like this. It cannot go higher than that. So we are capped. We are capped on those little, quote unquote, little mines. Hello, and Ollie. And and Ollie has joined me. Hello, Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Yes, you're squirmy, Ollie. Yes, I know. Yes, claw my chest with that back paw trying to get away from me. Where are you going? Where are you going? You left my lap. Where are you going? Anyway, so 2 of those, bunch of mineral water. Finally found them. Yes, they are nodes. These are pump jack type nodes things. Oh, he's pawing things on my desk now. He wants to play. He's had his food. So now it's time to play. Oh my god, these things have a resource amount. That makes me super sad. Why are they not percentage based? Why we know percentage based? Wait, that is a percentage. Is this a percentage? No, this is a straight up amount. Ew. Well, the amount's big enough. I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay with that. But this does mean, in order to tap all this, I will want a rail line all the way up there. I did do a mark here for oil because this is a pretty decent spot for oil. Like, that's a lot of oil all together in one location like that. That's a lot in this big area here. We've got 6 oil patches. That's pretty nice. This is also pretty nice for oil, and over here pretty nice for oil, and right in here there's lots of oil. There's lots of oil patches. Not so much on the immersite or mineral water, unfortunately. But anyway, besides all that, which took a lot of time, what I've also done is this. I have set up production of a bunch of grenades. The reason being that grenades are really good at killing trees and forests, and since I do not have nanobots to do that for me in this playthrough, I'm using grenades. I need the grenades to clear paths for me. I've also set up steam engines in here just so that I can keep expanding my power, because we are about to experience a massive spike in demand. And I want to go over and finish building all this, finish placing those things today for power. So with all of that said and done, about 6 minutes into today's video, we've also, over the course of all that time, it's allowed for the accumulation of a whole bunch of resources. It's allowed for the accumulation of the stuff in my mall, which is ideal. I like to see that. It is glorious. See all that. So what are we going to do today? Well, I'm going to be discussing my train stations and going down and setting up some additional mining operations in the train stations, and this will give me an opportunity to discuss how Train Supply Manager works and functions. And I also want to note that I have added one mod. I have added one mod to my mod list, and that is the Blueprint Flip and Turn mod. This has allowed me to design better trains, better rail segments. Help me with my train stations. I do understand and know that that does change the signals. It doesn't properly handle signals, and I have manually gone in and fixed the signals and such on the things where I needed to actually do that change. So definitely keep that in mind. I have already done the thing for all of that. We are listed at 64.8 because this is 60 megawatts, and then there's another 4.8 from the shelter and the wind turbines and the ship reactor and all that good stuff. That's why we're at 64.8 right now. Okay, how many mining drills do I have on me right now? I have 60. I want more. How many more do I have in my little mall area over here? Hello, mining drills. I have 500 sitting there. Let's grab all of them. I have decided. Let us grab all of them. I don't actually have enough resources, like inventory space, for grabbing literally all the things. Hello, Ollie. Welcome. Welcome to the back of my chair. It's good to see you. How's that Ollie doing? How's my Ollie? Hope he's feeling okay today. Ollie, by the way, has seems to suffer from allergies. He might be asthmatic as well. But yeah, the only thing we have going on to tell is he's very stuffy. He has a stuffy nose. It's pretty perpetual, and he gets a teary eye. So we're thinking allergies on the teary eye and potentially the stuffy nose, but that it could potentially be something a little bit more, which would be the asthma side of things. Oh, we hope not, but it would be nice to determine a source for whatever allergy he may or may not have. It would be nice. Would be nice. So I'm gonna put away all the rails. I don't really need additional rail segments at this moment and in time. I need the locomotives though, and I don't need to hold on to like many of the train stops and such. or the loaders and things, I can go ahead and I don't need to have a car on me right now. So all that's going to get stored. I need, though, some cargo wagons. The actual cargo wagons, not the fluid wagons. We aren't doing anything with fluid just yet. Not quite yet on the fluids. I do need more power poles. And yeah, I want cargo wagons. In fact, I would like to have a few more of them saved up, along with everything else. So, the remaining inventory space is probably just going to be red belt and such. A bunch of that. A bunch of loaders, too, just so that I have that on hand. And I think we'll go with this. Now, down here, I have a train. Because there is no way I was going to be walking the entirety of the length of all this track that I have built. There's just no way I was going to do that. So I have a train. It is currently in the proper direction, and I don't have a way of flipping the rail, so to speak. So I'll have to just go in the wrong direction here, which is a little unfortunate. I don't like when I have to do that. We're going to, of course, start with iron. Iron at the start. And iron is down here, marked Mind Me. I've actually got 2 of these down here. Right, so this actually controls like the car. So we're going down. This is also in the wrong direction. So what I can do is I can actually back up and take this, and now we are in the correct direction. We have arrived in the correct direction, and this will allow me to actually get right to the spot where I'm going to need it. Hey, I'm actually going to pick it up and then place it back down again in that location so that it snaps right where it needs to go. And what this will allow me to do is actually discuss the design of the train station. Oh boy. I'm actually going to get rid of that signal because I like to design in a very specific way and have some guarantees as to the behavior of stuff of the trains. So, first off, train supply manager. Train supply manager uses the base game train stops for the supplies. You can use these supply stops, these special supplier train stops, as the spot where you load your things, but that isn't necessarily what I tend to do. I take it a few steps further in complexity. Now, this is going to be just generic iron, or S iron 1. S iron 1. There we go. And because it is the first train station that I'm naming, I'm going to actually put in some additional names in here. Named after the patrons on Patreon. So that, after the Chromium tier patrons on Patreon first. And I actually had someone upgrade to the next level. I'm pretty sure I spelled that correctly. I will fix it if it's not after I go over to the side and have a look. Looks correct to me. There is one more that is probably going to be the copper one over here. You can, oddly, I have a copper tier, I have an iron tier. It's the copper tier that starts with the namings. So I'm gonna give a chromium tier person a supply station for copper. It's gonna be a little odd, but yeah. So this is S copper 1 Boiled nerves. That's the person who just upgraded from copper. They just upgraded from copper to chromium, and so they're going to be named among the first names that I use on the train stations for this playthrough. Huzzah! Enjoy, enjoy your names on these train stations. Ollie approves. Ollie approves. Bulk rail loaders. These are inserters in disguise. These aren't actually loaders. These are inserters attached to warehouses, big warehouses. If we use loaders on these, we can throw many loaders onto these. If we need more throughput, we can do something along these lines. You can also put even bigger storage containers as long as they touch this square here. You can use bigger storage containers, so I'm just like making a warehouse. I don't even know if that will help, but yeah, these can flip to inputs on here, and that can be that. If I power this, or if I hover over the individual chest, you can see the inserter lines. You can see the indicators for the inserters here that it is going to pull in and send out into those locations. In this case, for bulk rail loaders, it'll pull in. And yeah, you can see the inserter line right there, the input output. Yeah, that totally works with warehouses. And then you could also loader into these into the warehouse. However, this is going to be throughput limited. This is going to be limited in throughput into this bulk rail loader to that in one singular inserter speed, and that is why this is not something I tend to do unless I absolutely need to. So essentially, God, that sucks that I did that. Okay, there we go. So essentially, it's just gonna be like four, four loaders into the thing, and then it's inserting into the cargo wagons. It is not likely that we are going to run into a throughput limitation on the bulk rail loader or unloader inserter speed in and out of the cargo wagon, but we might. And then we can obviously load, in this case, 4 by 30 per second into each loader, so twice that. And of course, my trains are 1-2 trains. I just tend to prefer to use 1-2 trains. Die, trees. Get out of my way. So even though I have the setting enabled that's supposed to prevent trees from being on top of stuff, on top of the ores, you still end up with trees on top of ores, on occasion. It doesn't always work right. And yes, I'm just going to say death to trees, death to the enemy. The real enemy in Factorio is it's not fighters. The real enemy is trees. That's the real enemy. Death to all trees. Just be careful not to cause death to the rails, which I just did. Goodbye, rails. Hi, rails. You're dead now. I can, yeah, rip rails. Rip 8 rails. I'll have to fix that at some point. I'm not carrying any rails on me right now to do that fix. So, yeah, the design philosophy here. I am going to saturate the patch with as many doohickeys as I possibly can, and load it all onto trains. And then we'll do the processing separately in a area that allows me to just have more stuff. It'll be great. You may also be wondering, well, where am I going to fuel these trains? Well, Train Supply Manager does allow you to automatically refill trains through dedicated fueling stops. I'm just going to go in and grab that so that I can place some power down. Unfortunately, I will need to do that. That can go there. See how the logistic wires just automatically add themselves? I did carry with me logistic wires, so I could just go and add them for the sake of adding them. I don't really intend on using these logistic wires across all these. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. I make no guarantees. So, supply stations. These are a depot. This is going to be D Iron Ore 1. And every station in the depot needs to have the same name. And what will happen is that the train will load with the ore. It'll be sent to a depot. I'll tell it here that you are going to be like, supply iron and go to the depot once you're full and set it to circuit condition. And that is what that will do. Also, I need to make sure that this is iron ore 1 and that the other one is copper ore 1. There we go. Iron and copper ore. And yeah, now we can start tapping into our glorious, beautiful iron over here. So this is probably easier to go in this orientation. Maybe, yes, this is all yellow belt, but we'll be expanding. We'll be expanding a lot. I hear a dolly. Dolly? Meow. I just heard her meow. Where's my dolly? Where's my dolly? Oh, right, I wasn't gonna build like this either. That's... okay, fine. Let us adjust. Let us adjust. So... oh, get rid of all those. Because I now have access to medium power poles... what I was going to do here... I'm not gonna do the thing with the... two hickeys. The chest. Hello. Hello, she has emerged from the window. Hi. Hello, my dolly. This is Dolly, named after Dolly Madison, who's D-O-L-L-E-Y. Hello, my dolly. How's my girl? How's my sweet girl? How's that sweetie? You can be in my lap if you want to be in my lap. No, you want to be on the desk. That's where you want to be. You want to be on the desk. So I'm just gonna place all this down for now. Just keep going and going and going and going and going. Hello. Please don't climb the thing. Please, please. She climbed the thing. Dolly, what are you doing? Meow. 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 She climbed on top of my bookcase. By the way, can you see the... no, good. I had to redo the previous episode, as I had mentioned, because there was a black line here. My green screen wasn't forward enough, but that's... if you could hear the thing, that's the sound of all my amiibo falling down. You little thing. 8, 9, 10. At least 10 of my amiibo have fallen from the bookcase. Well, anyway, we'll continue on. I will take care of that in like 5-6 minutes when we finish off this video. So these guys, yeah, you there, followed by you there, you there, you there, you there, you there, and you there. This is a potentially familiar layout if you are experienced with Factorio in any way, shape, or form. This is a more compact way of building. Just something I can, yes, trees in the way. Whatever, don't care. Just a more compact way of building and placing down mining drills. You might be able to, depending on the size of the patch, be able to get away with having some additional stuffs and things. I'm going to actually align myself. Just hold. No, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Don't hold shift when doing that. That's a terrible idea. Don't hold shift. Just do that and then walk up without holding shift. And what that does is it gives me some nice long thingies to work with. Fully saturates the patch. So it does end up with a whole bunch of extra ghosts. Let's trim off all these extra ghosts, place what I can. This is actually gonna go and load into storage. Warehouses prior to being loaded onto the bulk rail loaders, just so we are all clear on that. Actually, these have such a huge range that I think I only really need them every other. Could be wrong, though. Let's just get all of these placed, especially since I don't have construction bots at this point to do it for me. Little, salty, annoying. Ah, the joy of placing power poles. This is the easy part. I can just click and drag on this part because Factorio is actually really good at being able to place down power poles over ghost entities. It's really, really kind and nifty that we can just do this without having to worry, but the other stuff, oh, I have to worry. I don't need any of these. Just like I probably don't need any of those undergrounds there. I think I'll need that one. And that one. Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, so any like lane balancing and such, it's not gonna matter, as I'm going to throw everything right into a warehouse. The warehouse that I built. By the way, I built that warehouse for good reason. It is going to be used here to quote-unquote belt balance for me. Lane balance and all that good stuff. I have no idea how many this is and how much throughput this will end up being until I bring it up in what is it really used for. Or not what is it really used for, in actual craft time. Yeah, that's the one. I'll just get a count of how many are here and then throw that in to the thingy. Hopefully it's less than 200. Hopefully it's less than 200. I think it's going to be more than 200 though. We shall see. We shall see in the end how many this is. It has officially been 30 minutes, but I do want to at least finish this today. Get through this few minutes here of placing down all of this stuff on this ore patch, so we can see how this is done, right? I am going to do basically the same thing in the next episode with copper, or at least I'm thinking about that, just trying to process in my mind how I want to do things, because I need to record one more video today, this session, this morning of recording, because this is the weekend videos. This video is a Saturday video. I need to record my Sunday video directly after this, so I need to decide, do we go ahead and record the next episode and do basically exactly this? Didn't quite realize there were doohickeys there. Over on the copper patch that I intend on tapping into, or do we, do I do other stuff in the meantime? Like, actually set... you know what? I know what we'll do. I will do the additional mining setups off-screen, because they'll be identical to this, as well as the, like, setups of the thingies. Actually, what I'll do is I'll do all of the undergrounds here first. Gee, I hope I have enough undergrounds. I'll do all this with the undergrounds, and then do the regular belts. So I'll do all this tedium off screen. That's the point that I want to make. I want to do this off screen for the copper and the coal and all that good stuff, and the stone. Copper, coal, stone, and I guess together we'll do what I need to do to get into the earth stuff when that applies, as well as the oil stuff. We'll do that together, but things like the coal and the stone, those don't really need, and the other copper patch. They don't need me to show you this multiple times. Like, you probably get the idea as I build this, and we are concerned about seeing stuff that's new, right? We want to see new stuff with each episode. I would imagine that new stuff should reign supreme for those desiring content. Let us focus on new stuff that we haven't done before, or at least expansion of stuff that's not as tedious as this. So that means that next time we meet, I will be doing the Requester Station smelting. Requester Station smelting. Oh, right, that will require that I have the... Why did I not place these yet? That will require the coal. Right. That requires coal. I need coal for the fuel. I don't have the electric furnaces yet, or the even more advanced furnaces that I think exist in Krastorio. So yeah. Oh, I missed a thing. I missed a thing. I missed a doohickey. The doest of hickeys. The absolute doest of hickeys. I don't need those. Let's go! More belt! You can see how much time this takes. By the way, this takes a good while. A good, long while. Now, to note, Trade Supply Manager is a system of supplies and demands. We need to have defined our supplies. This is arbitrary. we can pick whatever we want as our resource and ID. I personally prefer to keep them identical in this case. And this is going to be the depot for iron ore. This list here is all of the supply station names that currently exist. You can put whatever supply stations you want in here. It will preferentially pick up from that first station, though, so do keep that in mind, that it will prefer the top first station, and only if there's no trains available in that first top station is when it will pull from the next depot set that you have defined there. So keep all that in mind. There are similarly as a requester type situation. So you supply here, you define the resource and ID, and then you request by resource and ID at a requester station. It's pretty simple to wrap your head around that, I would hope. I would hope that that's relatively easy to understand. You supply, you define the names of your supply, and then you demand. And I need more power for this to operate. I did say that I would need more power, right? I did make that clear, that power would be an issue. So yeah, more power next time. We'll do that, I guess, first. So how many mining drills is this? This is 378. Oh boy. So let's see. We've got 110 plus. Well, this is with mining productivity, so it's not going to be as much as this. So let's keep that in mind. Plus, that was 378, right? So plus 78 plus 97.9 is 207.9. Yeah, 378. So an extra 178. So, oh, let's to take into account the fact that we're going to lose a little bit out of that productivity. It's like we need to like not take into account productivity at all. We have to subtract 10% of that. Basically, is what I would prefer to do. So times 0.9. So 187.11. Let's just say 185. Just to keep things relatively simple. 185 divided by 30, which is our belt speed now. So a little over 6. Little more than 6 belts of throughput. Which means that we are going to divide into 8 in this case to be even between these. If we want to have all the throughput, this 8 belts of loading into these loaders should be just fine. And with that, I guess the only other thing we could do is just load all these into a warehouse. Just do all of that shenaniganry. Let's load up. Let's load her up. Load her up. Must load the things. This is quite a few units of belt. Uh-oh. And quite a few loaders. Probably gonna need to clear out some of these trees. Oh boy. How many more? How many more? Whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh god. Hello, 5 additional thingies. Wow, we're already at nearly 40 minutes, so let's get this done as quickly as possible here. Clean out trees that are in my way. This will be the last item, which gives me an indication of what is in my way. go. That should do it. Here we go. Perfect. And that's that. That's all of it loading into a warehouse, assuming I had the power to properly have everything moving at any reasonable speed. Stack size 400 is pretty nice. Just so we're clear on that. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. Load on up. All those units. So yeah, obviously this is going to be way more than enough for multiple trains. And that's why I've designed this to have multiple trains. Wow, that spacing is just right. Not all this is going to operate forever, of course. There's some here that have like 30k, 83k, 51, 151k, 40k, etc. So not all of the periphery are going to do anything for extended periods of time. Let's see. So this is 40 times 2 times 400 units. That's 32,000 units of 4 per train divided by the 185, little over 185-ish, effectively. It is more than 185, but still. That is close to 3 minutes, about 3 minutes to load this train. About 3 minutes, so that's reasonable. That tends to be about how I design. Oh, hello. That tends to be pretty much how I design these. Now, if it had the full power, it would get more. But yeah, we are good, and I can set this to automatic, and that's all done. That is done. That is the exact thing that I'm going to be doing on this copper patch as well as this coal patch. I will be doing all of that separately. When we next meet, step 1 is upgrade power, step 2 is tap into some coal. Probably not the entire patch, we'll do that separately. Maybe I'll tap into some of the copper patch as well. You can see this is because of the flip and turn here. I mirrored this same train station, this little train station right here for that. And yeah, that's a necessity for the just signals and stuff. But yeah, that will get tapped, and we can start working on the processing of these and setting up requester stations and showing how to set up a requester station and all that good stuff. So, with that, folks, I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Otaku Showboat. If you have enjoyed today's video, please be sure to do all of the social stuff down below. You can, of course, follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/otakushowboat, as well as support me on Patreon at patreon.com/otakushowboat if you are so inclined and able. I will see you all on the next one.